Why don't you tell us who you are and where you live and what's going on in your life to start with, and we'll take it from there.
All right, awesome. Good morning. Hey, y'all. I'm Whitney Nicely. I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee, and I started attending Ron's boot camps in December of 2013. So I've been a star student for a minute or two. And as of right now, I've got 15 houses and 19 apartment units, whole bunch of random chunks of land across East Tennessee. And I just bought the Knox RIA back in October, so I'm super excited about that. And still doing these options and creative financing deals.
What is Knox RIA?
The Knoxville Real Estate Investors Association. My mentor used to own the Jacksonville RIA or run it. And I thought it'd be cool if I could do that one day in Knoxville.
I never owned the Jacksonville RIA. It's a nonprofit organization. I just was president of it. That's all.
All right, cool.
Find anybody else. But it did give me a good start in this business. So basically it's a group of people who get together and share contacts and chat and probably do deals with each other and keep them in the business, hang around the right kind of people.
It's a bunch of real estate nerds who need other nerds to support them once a month and really get plugged back into why we do all these crazy things.
Well, I got to tell you, when I first started, I wouldn't have made it without that group. I promise you the Dream Stealers would have taken me out.
Absolutely.
If I hadn't gone there and seen people doing this business, I would have been gone, just like most other people, I guess, which is actually why we're doing this thing today here.
I remember in the very beginning, I thought everybody was speaking a different language.
Okay, so tell me what your business looks like right now. You part-time, full-time, no time?
I am full-time in real estate investing. I have the 15 houses, which doesn't keep me super duper busy. So I spend a lot of time doing videos and hanging out with folks like you and helping other people get their deals done. And that's what I spend most of my time doing, except this week I am all in for the Knox RIA all week.
Okay. Yeah, which does not mean you're not full-time in the real estate business. You are part-time in the real estate business and find things to fill up the rest of your time.
I really do. I'm really good at creating little projects to occupy myself.
Yeah. So honestly, how many hours would you say you actually put into buying houses?
It's very few. And I would tell you that I spend most of my time in actual real estate investing on the 7th and 14th of every month, seeing who paid and sending out a text to say, hey, pay, and then checking back in on the 14th to make sure they paid.
That's property management. That's not real estate buying and selling. Okay. And that's only because you haven't delegated that yet.
Well, I check the bookkeeper. She tells me who's done what.
Okay.
And then I send the mean text, and then she sends the mean letter.
So how many houses would you say you buy in a normal year then?
I'm really not buying that many because I've got 15, and what I found is every summer, 6 or 7 of them become available. So I resell those 6 or 7 every summer. And that gets me, 60, 70, 80 grand every year. And otherwise it's on passive income. I don't do that many deals. I hustled my tail off for 2 or 3 years, but now it's the less I do, the more I make.
Because you got the residual income coming in, you don't have to. So you get lazy, right?
Well, you get creative and find other things to do, like flipping your own house for some crazy reason.
Yeah, and buying clubs and all that. So Whitney, when you got started, what kind of obstacles did you overcome?
Well, I was working a job. I was working at my mom's dump truck company, and she's got 4 companies. So I basically had 4 full-time jobs. And my mom was a real estate investor. And so when I told her I was going to do creative financing, she was afraid wholesaling was going to be illegal. So one of the biggest obstacles I had was my mom and my boss afraid I was getting into something that wasn't going to be, keeping me in pink. I was going to end up in orange.
Okay.
So that was a huge obstacle. And, telling her that other people were doing these deals. And when I really got into it and I could explain it to her a little bit better and I could show her what was happening and how we were helping sellers and then helping buyers, that's when she really got on board. And now I've been able to help my mom buy 2 pieces of land on owner financing and I think a house.
Okay. And did in the beginning, so your mom told you couldn't do it or you shouldn't do it?
shouldn't. It sounded illegal. If you weren't actually taking title, it sounded like something illegal was going on, and we
Yeah.
really need to double check on this.
So how often have you had people tell you that it's illegal, it's a scam, you can't do it here, or won't work here, or whatever?
At least once a week.
They still do that?
Yes, and I'm the broker for Whitney Buys Houses, and I get other agents telling me that it's illegal and I can't do this and I can't do that and blah 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 blah. So my whole firm is set up on creative financing. We specialize in creative financing. We don't do any regular listings. We don't do any regular first-time home buyer sales. We don't do any of that stuff. I mean, I take the CE for it, but I really focus on creative deals.
Yeah. So you're a realtor as well, huh?
Yes. And the real estate commission actually sent me a nice letter one time that said, would you please stop putting handwritten signs out? They're fine. You've got everything on there the way you're supposed to, but your competition turns you in like once a week. And we have to tell them that you're okay. So they literally asked if I would go ahead and get some pre-printed signs with all my information on it. And then I could fill in the blanks with the handwritten, because we both know handwritten works.
Yeah. I agree with that. So what do you do to find deals nowadays?
I post on Facebook. I'm really mouthy. I tell everybody I'm a real estate investor. And most of my deals that I get, the two that I did last year were fantastic deals. And they both came from Facebook. Just talking about real estate and letting people know that if you got a problem, I'll solve it.
Boy, you're something. You are. You know what? I think you probably need a little bit more confidence.
I need somebody to tell me I can't do something that really gets me going.
Yeah. I can tell that. And I can also tell you're a perfect one to be running a group too. Yeah. Now, people need your energy. They need your confidence level.
Because, a lot of people will hear that it's illegal, or they'll hear it's a scam, and then they'll go cry on the kitchen floor and be like, oh, well, here goes my dreams. I guess I can't do it because nobody from nowhere said I couldn't.
And, I always tell people that if you can't do this business, you won't do any other one either.
Right. And,
same problems.
When I was trying to leave my mom's company and get into real estate all the time, I really had a hard time saying, I can do this and I'm going to be able to make it, in spite of these people that tell me that I couldn't. And it was hard. And I'll tell y'all that if you're working a full-time job and you're momming or you're dadding or you're doing whatever else out there, you've really got to put some focus into real estate investing, because if I didn't have my 15 houses, I wouldn't be able to go and do all the other things that I go and do. Like, real estate investing should be the first thing that you put your effort into, and then build all your other stuff off of it, because that residual money comes in every single month, whether you hustle it or not.
So you're a good case of the residual income overtaking the other income. So now you get to do what you want and buy, real estate associations and that kind of thing. So
I was making $2,000 a month. If I sold a dump truck, then I would make an extra $500 a month. So I needed $2,000 to $2,500 a month. And it doesn't take long in real estate to really stack that up, because the first deal I did, I made $15,000. That was like half my year's salary in one deal. Yeah.
All right. So what is your, do you have a plan to actually grow your business, or do you care?
My plan right now is to, pay off what I owe these sellers so that I have full
Free and clear.
Passive income. Yes. I helped a lot of people. I did a lot of creative deals, but I've still got that debt. It's not in my name, but it's still weighing on me. And so if I can get those sellers off my back, if I can get those banks off my back, I got those properties free and clear, because, when it's free and clear, then you can do a little robbing Peter to pay Paul to really scale up to the next level, whatever that looks like.
So I need to come back to this debt stuff now, because we got a lot of new people on here today and they're not understanding this debt stuff.
Okay.
All right. Can you tell me now, are any of these loans personally guaranteed by you?
No.
No. All right. So that means that you bought them on a wrap, or you took them subject to.
Yes.
That means the loan's still in the seller's name, but you are not liable for them.
Right. I have some on lease options also.
Okay. So that means that none of that debt shows on your credit report.
Right.
And frankly, you're not obligated legally to have any of that debt reported on your financial statement.
True. It's a
So
moral thing.
therefore, they're never going to come after you for debt if things go bad and sky has fallen, Chicken Little comes and whatever. The worst that can happen to you is you lose houses you got for free and that have already made money on. Is that correct?
Yep, that's right.
All right. Well, that's good. That's a point that many people do not get till they hang around me for a while. And a lesson I learned the hard way, of course.
And that was what my mom had a hard problem with in the beginning too. She was saying, "This isn't yours. How can this be yours?" And I'm saying, "I've got it clouded. I got the title tied up. I'm in control."
Well, you don't have it tied up. You have the title. Well, except on a lease option. So yeah, it is hard for people to understand how come I can buy the house without having to pay off the debt.
That's right.
And that's another thing. Some realtors will tell you, you can't do that. That's illegal. Where they get this crap at, I swear, I don't know. All right. So basically, you've learned that the whole world is full of crap. Isn't that true?
I've learned that, yes.
So wouldn't you also say that the biggest dream stealers out there, most of them have your last name, or at least in your family?
A few of them, I could say that one of my dream stealers didn't have my last name. I have his last name now, but in the beginning, my boyfriend, when I was at my very first Ron LeGrand boot camp, quick start boot camp in December 2013, my boyfriend told me, because I was super excited, we were going to be millionaires, and I was learning all this stuff, and right, I had all the stuff pumped full all day long. And I would go home at night and I'd be in the hotel and I'd tell him all the stuff I'd learned and how we were going to do these deals and all this stuff. And he said, "Whitney, you have church camp mentality. When you get home, this isn't going to work. Sellers aren't going to do this. There's no buyers out there that need this. And, you just wasted your money and it's just never going to happen."
Uh-huh.
And I didn't even have his name then. I have it now. But, that was a great learning lesson for me to say, hold my water and watch this. And, I went on to do 14 deals in the next year and really showed him.
So that's the reason you did it, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. That first check I got was just a shut up check for him.
How long did it take you to get that first check?
I had to go to the owner financing boot camp. Then I went back to the regular boot camp in February, and I was home for 2 weeks, and I got my first house under contract on February 27th or 28th. And then we closed that first deal May 13th, and I made like $15,386.
Why so long to get it closed?
I didn't know what I was doing. I couldn't find any attorneys to close me.
Get out of here. What kind of deal was that?
It was a lease option that I had, but I ended up finding an end buyer, a cash buyer. They were coming down from Chicago, and they actually had money, so it turned into like a wholesale deal. But I didn't know what I was doing. Every time I talked to an attorney, they'd say, "No, little girl, you can't do it like this. That doesn't happen. This isn't going to work." And I was like, "Dude, I have 2 contracts. I just need somebody to close this." And so I finally found an attorney that would work.
You finally found one. How did you find one? We get that question all the time.
Well, I went to a lot of attorneys that other people in the RIA were using, and they were busy doing regular closings, doing regular deals. They didn't specialize or have time for these creative deals. And I actually had to interview with the attorney that I found twice. Mm-hmm. And they interviewed me probably as much as I interviewed them.
And you've been using them ever since?
Ever since.
Okay. Well, I think it's probably proper to say that when you started, you joined the RIA, and the RIA has been a big benefit for you, and now you own one, huh?
Yes, it's amazing. And the networking, the connections that you can find in that RIA room are just unbelievable. These are people actually really doing real estate. And what I found, some of them, a lot of them are talking about it, but the ones that are really doing it, when you can figure out those kind of upperclassmen, because they float to the top, you can see the cream at the top. They're more than willing to help you and tell you what they know and talk all night long about real estate.
Well, I remember, first of all, you guys, the RIA stands for Real Estate Investor Association, and there's probably one where you live, and just look them up on Google. And go join them. Most of them are nonprofit organizations, and their dues are really, really cheap. And I've always been a RIA supporter. As I said, I wouldn't be here without our local RIA here. And then pretty soon I was an officer, and for years I was in it. So it would behoove you to go join. Now, this is not where you're going to get your education, so let's don't mistake this for training, but it's where you're going to get your support and some education, and whatever you need is in that room. There's always somebody there, like your attorney. And then, of course, sometimes they buy and sell from each other, but it's not an investment club. You don't get together and pool your money and invest. So it's a place to hang out with the right kind of people, isn't it?
It is. And my RIA is for profit, but we also have a virtual membership because we're the only actual RIA associated with National RIA in East Tennessee. So sometimes people have to drive 2 hours to get to our meeting, but especially right now, we're virtual.
Okay.
And I will say too, a lot of people think when we talk about RIAs, they think the sellers are going to be there. This is not where sellers are going to hang out, y'all. This is where you go to talk to other people to refill your cup. Because when you go out into the world, your mom, your boyfriend, your broker, your hairdresser, your preacher, none of those people understand what you're doing. So you have to go hang out with people who actually get it and are local to you.
That includes your family. You can't carry on a conversation about real estate with your family. They'll think you're all right.
And because you're going to start bringing in, $15,000, $20,000 checks every month, some of your people are going to be really uncomfortable with you making that much money. So go hang out with people making 40 and 50,000.
And you learn the hard way. When you come and you get trained and you get excited, the last thing you want to do is go home, share all this stuff with somebody else, because they'll just try to pull you down. Wait till you get your check, then start talking about it. You get the evidence, and now you got proof, and now there's not much they can say. But the dream stealers are out there, aren't they?
Oh, and they get loud. They get so loud. And I mean, I remember in the beginning, I had all these thoughts in my head, but to hear these people actually say it out loud, like, I don't need that from you. I'm already getting it from strangers on the street. Don't give that to me when I get home for dinner every night.
Yeah. Well, I would bet you if you took a really hard look at them that all the people that are giving you a hard time are broke.
Definitely not rich in real estate.
And broke people can't teach you how to get rich, can they?
No, they can't.
But they all try, don't they?
They sure do. All day, every day. Like it's their full-time job.
Yeah, just not qualified. All right. Well, what piece of advice would you give our audience today?
I would say to a lot of people, especially when you're trying to get your first deal, you got a lot of nerves going on and you're like really high strung. And a lot of times you've invested a lot of money into learning how to do these deals, right? I need you to #chill. Okay. Because the sellers can tell when you're on edge. Okay. It's like dogs and kids, and it's like dating again. If you go on a first date and you can tell like there's an end goal in mind, it's like, I don't want to deal with that. Okay.
My God, I don't remember. Jeez, it's been 55 years ago. I don't remember.
But it's like that. It's true. And you can tell when you get a call and it's a sales call, it's just kind of like, ugh. But if y'all could just like chill out a little bit and really listen to what the sellers are telling you, a lot of sellers will just kind of like give you a really good deal. All you have to do is agree to their terms. And a lot of them will get super creative if you will just relax a little and let them tell you what they really want to happen. And then you fill in the blanks with their property address.
Takes a little practice, takes a little self-confidence built by making a few phone calls and finding out they're just as scared of you as you are of them.
And I'll tell you, as a woman, it's really hard to shut your mouth, but it is your number one skill. I can say that. You can't say that, Ron, but I can say that, like, seriously, ladies.
Shut up.
You'll be amazed at what people tell you if you will just stop talking.
Now, where did you learn that, Whitney?
My mom taught me that one.
Yeah.
She also told me if you need a man to do something, go make a big mess out of it, and then he'll come back and fix it. But if you just ask him to do it for 6 months, it's not going to happen.
So what you learned is if you just let people talk, they will, and they'll make you an offer. And then you don't make the stupid mistake of making them an offer before they tell you what they want.
Absolutely.
Agreed. All right. Well, do you have any big plans for the rest of this year?
Not really. I wish I could say I had a big trip planned, but I was supposed to go to Italy in April. I was supposed to come see you in Vegas in April, but now I'm just looking forward to getting outside.
All right. Well,
maybe doing a few deals.
Me too. Okay. Well, then I'm going to turn you loose, and I appreciate your input today. You're always a pleasure to talk to.
Thanks for having me, Ron. I appreciate it. Bye, y'all.
See ya.